wisdom to oversee the daily task of government. Help us always set goals for the benefit of the borough. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public participation is in the beginning of the meeting. Well, I have to wait. You're giving up your right to talk?
No, I'm not giving up my right to talk.
Public participation is in the beginning of the meeting.
I told you last year, I mean, this is what you don't understand. You're gonna bring things up to the table that these people don't agree on. So how can you tell somebody they have to talk now before we hear anything?
This is the resolution
Well,
we
then
passed.
you can do what you want, but I want to say something else.
Thank you, Ms. Foglio. Frank Foglio, Sr.
Yeah, I want to know if you found out anything about the fire marshal's job.
That will be discussed on item number 13 with the solicitor.
Did you make a decision if he got the job, if you don't have the job? or
It'll
where
be
you going?
discussed with the solicitor on item 13.
My argument is, as long as I can remember that fire marshal, if he could take the fire marshal's job, pay the chief that's in office, why are they making these changes now? Is that spite work or what? That's what we want to know.
The solicitor will discuss it with you with item 13.
Yeah, we'll discuss it with you when he comes to work. When he comes to
Why don't we hear our right to speak for him?
whatever he wants.
Colleen Calabro.
I would like the solicitor to be here with my comments.
Elaine Belmore Short.
I wanted to let you know about the taxes that we had mailed to the post office box. I mailed mine on March the 1st. Check is not through the bank yet. And this happened to me once before with Wachovia, my school taxes. I had a receipt stating that I paid it one time. So when December came, the check still didn't go to the bank. Then I got notice from media that I didn't pay my taxes. At least I had a receipt. Now I don't even have a receipt. And that check is not cleared to bank. So something has to be done about this something about it.
I did have a discussion with Mr. Olson last night when he dropped off all his materials because he has resigned. Tonight we will be filling, hopefully, the vacancy position, and everything that he has received from M&T Bank will be turned over to that person.
And then we'll have answers. Because I don't want to be charged
I
for
understand.
that. Another thing, I had a lot of vandalism in my house this last week. And I didn't realize how bad it was until I was hearing from other people that they were getting vandalized also. And
What type of vandalism?
throwing rocks at my windows, breaking my windows.
Did you file a police report?
Yes, I did. 3 times. And the police are doing a good job of finding these kids. So, but do we have a town watch? Do we have a town watch? No. Or any
We can certainly try to put one together.
Can I just say something to that?
She has the floor.
Okay, I just was referring to the town watch.
Well, I would like to hear what she has to say about town watch.
I tried last summer, or it was either last summer or the summer before, and the chief will even tell you, I was working with somebody from Brookhaven with it.
And from
I-
council.
And from council, and I had gotten everyone's signature in the borough, well, not everyone's, but a lot of the people in the village. Everybody said yes, they wanted to help, but when it came down to actually putting it together, nobody wanted to stand up and help. So at Town Watch, nobody's gonna do nothing. They're not gonna actually go out and physically help you with the Town Watch. They're gonna say, yeah, they want it, but they're not
But
gonna
they don't
help.
want to help.
they're not willing to help. Because I tried. And I bent over backwards trying to get it together.
Well, maybe we could try again.
We can try again.
We try again. That's all we can do. We just keep trying until people finally have had enough that they will join.
Another thing is, you only have two police officers on, with the summer coming up. I feel there should be more police officers on the streets. Because if it's already vandalism now, it's going to be like in the summertime. So, we need to take that into consideration. And one more thing. My driveway, there's 10 houses on my road, and it's used as a street. Everybody from Heather Road to Carter Road comes through my driveway. It's the 800 block. Heather Road is one way, and that's why they do it. Because
So you back up to,
Heather Road, Heather Road, here's Carter Road, the 800 block. Is there a possibility of putting a one-way sign on Heather Road at 2001? To begin one way there instead of everybody cutting through? Because now they're cutting through from Carter Road. Before it used to be just from Heather Road. Now they're turning from Carter. Instead of going to Heather and making a left turn, they're turning left at Carter and coming through the driveway. And they're speeding too. Nobody goes through slow.
so what, where are you in that block area? Where?
I'm 849, so it's 10 houses, 851, and I'm not sure the last house. Streets go to the house and go down. But it's between, Carter and Heather. But they just speed through, and of course it keeps tearing up the driveways. We used to have a no thoroughfare zone sign on 851. Somehow that's been bad. That's been down for quite a few years. There is one at Carter Road.
Oh, I can give you a call tomorrow,
Okay.
and then we'll, let me know everything that's going on. I'll see what I can do for you.
Okay.
You're not alone as far as the driveways go, so.
You have several people that come up here, they want their driveways put one way. I'm not sure if we're allowed to do that unless we have a petition from the residents that it would affect.
Well, I'm not saying the driveway one way. What I'm saying is, Heather Road, begin one way after the driveway. So then the people coming out of the other end of Chandler will be able to make a left on the Heather and go instead of cutting through my driveway. That's what I'm saying.
Heather Road is one way. Is that
Right.
Okay, and where is the one-way pickup at?
On Taylor Drive.
On Taylor Drive.
Yeah.
And you're saying put it,
Put it at 2001. So the people instead of coming straight through the other end of Taylor Drive will go down Heather.
You're coming out of the driveway of Heather Drive, you go straight across the driveway through Carter Road, because I know it myself, to come through, because you can't make the left-hand turn on Heather, because it's a one-way street. Down at the other end of Heather, there is a one-way, but you can still make the left, the right out of the driveway. When you're coming off of Heather, you're not allowed to make that left-hand turn, because it is a one-way street, so it's easier to go straight across the driveway, which takes you out to Carter Road,
where you can make it.
where you can make a left-hand turn.
I wouldn't care if they wouldn't speed. They speed through.
I normally go out the other way, but there are times that I have to go out and I go through Carter driveway. But if we could make that left-hand turn, it will eliminate a lot of traffic in that driveway where there are a lot of kids playing usually.
So where would the stop sign, or where would the sign go?
The one-way sign would be on the right-hand side of the driveway, of where the driveway is. Instead of that whole street being a one-way, it would just start at the driveway one way.
And leave it, watch this fucking wall.
Joe Normando.
I would like to know why you don't have a speaker here, so we can, everybody can hear everything. This meeting to me is a farce right now. I would like to know why Cliff Wilson and the board, the council people, fired 2 people that worked here in this Borough Hall, okay? Why they were fired, replaced by you kind of people, by your own people. Why? When they did a good job, you understand, they did a good job, they did exceeding your job, and you come by and you're hiring people out of town. Who's employed here that don't live in Folcroft? Tell me. You live in Folcroft? Why are you here? Why do you have a job? He always will be a bum. He's a thief, and then he got, I know him from way back. What are you saying? A couple of years ago, I was a committee. Under him. He never paid anything for nothing. 19 candidates were on the slate. 19. He received money. The committee people didn't get nothing. Didn't even get a cup of coffee. I was a committeeman in the city of Philadelphia for 30 years. I've been in politics for 52. He was running out of New York. He's going to be running out of Folcroft also. What you people did here, the voters, you committed another Priscilla. Now, I want to know why you people fired 2 people here, Judy and Carmen. Answer me. Answer me. And who'd you put in their places? People that don't live in the Folcroft, aren't they knowledgeable enough? Aren't these people knowledgeable enough to do the job? You're not, nobody's answering me. Why?
They don't have to answer.
They're a bunch of phonies.
Thank you.
All you people, listen, here's the problem right there. This guy here. He was
Sir.
don't
you're
tell
out
me
of order.
anything.
Sir, you're out of order, and if you don't stop, we'll have to ask you to
I
please
go
leave.
further than that. I go further than
Please,
that.
please.
You look at this guy. He was on the staff of a congressman that I know very well in Philadelphia. I told
Mr.
him,
Franklin, please.
why did he quit? Ill health. But there was a pause on why. He was going to be charged with fraud in New York, and he ran
That's a
away.
lie, and you know it. That's a lie, and I'm gonna sue you.
You can sue me. You're a fraud. You can sue me. Now, I'll tell you one thing. You ran, but you won't get away. I guarantee you. Because you talk about you're not going to turn over your agreement.
If we can't have order, then we'll just adjourn the meeting and take it up at another time. Teresa Franklin.
Last week, I had asked about the speed bumps. We had said about there were going to be stop signs put in.
That's on the engineer's report. Item number 17, we'll be discussing that this evening. He did a
So can I comment when he does discuss it? Because there's been like an ongoing thing and I can't get an answer.
You can discuss it now, and he can take your comments into consideration.
Because we've been asking for the speed bump and, you know, it costs we looked it up, it costs $138 for the retractable speed bumps. We had, for the retractable, the removable speed bumps. I'd rather put that money out to save a child's life than a stop sign that they're just gonna keep blowing. Yesterday, we had a lady fly down the street about 50 miles an hour. One of the neighbors down at the corner had yelled at the lady to go slow down, and she flipped her finger up out of the window.
Yeah, I was there, I witnessed that.
Then we had a car coming down the street, which was Sheila, coming off of Delview, and as she was coming off, the car flying down the street almost rear-ended her because he was flying a young kid, flying down the street, probably doing 40, 50, and had to slam on his brake or he would have clipped to her end. And then when she started to go down the street slow, he was trying to pass her as he was going down the street. when you yell at him, you get F you down, out the window as well. I mean, this is what we get when we tell these cars to slow down. So we need something other than a stop sign. We need some kind of speed bump, so that if they do damage to their car, it's going to be on them for speeding.
No one else for
Yeah, I do.
participation?
I have a question.
Oh, that's right. How you wanted to speak?
I see under new business, we have new business to discuss. There's no new business to discuss under new business.
Brought up that will be discussed.
I don't have anything.
There's nothing on the agenda tonight for new business. Because last,
Council members have something.
but this is my question, why last meeting was there new business and it wasn't listed for public participation? And then when it was brought up and it was coming up for a vote, council walked out. You never gave the public a chance to comment on Carmen being released and Mr. Paoletta being sworn and being voted in. Why was that not addressed under new business, and why was that not put there for the public to make comments on? Just because it wasn't.
The way the council people bring things up is the way they bring it
But
up.
I thought anything that comes up and anything that's going to be voted on is supposed to be on the agenda. Is that correct?
With new business, you don't always know what new business is, Mr. Labro, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, but that's not true. I would imagine that you would have known the day before that new business would have been put on. Now, I also have another question about the minutes. You're voting on minutes tonight for February 7th meeting. Why were the last minutes that were voted on and approved of a generic version of what was originally written? Why are there two versions of minutes floating around? Why were Tony's minutes edited?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have minutes in front of me from February 7th and February 14th, that's all I have. I don't know what-
January's
I don't know what
meeting
else-
minutes.
I don't know what else it is you're talking about.
There are two that were submitted. They voted on one, but that was not the original minutes that Tony had. Somebody altered her minutes, and I would like to know who altered the minutes and took out all of the public comments that were in there. Because the minutes that I originally saw, and the minutes that were voted on are not the same, and why would that be?
I don't do the minutes, I don't. The
Well, then,
secretary-
in the
the secretary
president answer
prepared-
that question for me. Why are there
I'm
two
not
sets of
answering
minutes?
your question. The secretary prepared minutes and they're voted on.
But they were not the
Those
minutes.
were not by the council and approved, Mr. Labro. I don't know what else to say.
They were not the original minutes that were written, and they were presented to the council, and they were false documents. So why was there two sets of minutes, and who has the authority to alter the minutes? That's my
All through the
question.
minutes, the secretary prepared, Mr. Labro. That's the way it goes.
And I know for a
I have
fact
no
that
idea what you're
the secretary, they were altered. They were not her original minutes.
Of the minutes that were approved,
Oh, I know they were approved, but why weren't the original minutes that the secretary wrote
I don't know if they
presented
were,
to
but-
council to vote on instead of an altered vote
I don't
version?
know. Doesn't know the answer to your question. I can look into it.
Who can you look into that and find out who
Find
changed
out.
them? Because, and I would like to know who had the authority, because I thought we voted on a right to know person who's supposed to submit that stuff. Who has the right to change her minutes?
You're mixing apples and oranges, but I'll look into it.
No, because there's a lot of public comment that should be part of public record
Not
that was
necessarily.
deleted from there.
Okay, that's your opinion.
Because the original one that I believe from January says I questioned about the rec department. That was not my whole speech and what I talked about. I asked a lot of more things than that, and I know a lot of other people, and I am concerned that it is not being presented, because aren't they submitted to the media in Harrisburg? So why are false documents being presented to them and altered? And I do have concerns about that. And I don't know who would have changed them or who altered them, but I do know that they were not originally Tony's, they were not her minutes. And there are two versions, and they were here at committee, it just never came up. And I didn't think it was appropriate to bring it up without having you here.
All right, so,
before you go? I was here last week. I don't remember anything about an auditor or some guy to come help inspect here. So let that fall under new business? I'm just
Mr. Casenti did bring up last week about looking into an auditor. We've been having this discussion since the beginning of January, that we need to have.
I understand that. But what it says in black and white is
Right, we're down to.
clearly says appointment. Did you guys like discuss it this time? Or did you just pick some dude off the street? That probably doesn't count. We don't have it. We don't have help.
Excuse me. If you can wait for Mr. Casenti to do his report, all of your questions will be answered on the auditor position.
No, I just got another question. She asked about the minutes. Who prepares the minutes? I didn't ask why, sir. Who prepares the minutes?
Tony's posted, but I believe Cliff will take it over.
Hey, Cliff, how you doing, pal? Did you prepare the minutes? You're really thinking about this?
You don't remember who typed it? All right.
Oh, all right, yeah. I asked you.
Can we just get back to our agenda?
Now you want to follow an agenda. Hold on. I asked Mr. Wilson a question. He's still thinking about it. He can't remember what he
Because
did.
I just said something last week.
Hold on, Sheila.
Mr.
You
Santarelli,
answered
you
my
were
question.
not here. Nobody had an answer for anybody because they put it on you. For you to be here to answer their questions because they had no idea what was going on. So now that we have you here, you don't even know either. So who knows? Who's going to answer these people's questions? Are we just going to sit here and go apples and oranges and throw it up in the air and let it fall where it may? And maybe these people will just go away.
I ain't going away.
So maybe you should be in committee meetings.
Now, Mr. Wilson, did you or did you
And
not
there is
say
new
no?
business
Free
on the
time.
table.
I can't hear you. No. No. Now I can't hear because of the gavel. He's trying to answer my question. Let him answer my question. All right. So if you did not prepare the minutes, who did? It's a simple question. Somebody printed out the minutes. Who printed them out? Somebody has to know. There's 11 of you up there or something. I don't know. But somebody has to know who printed out the damn minutes. Who printed out the agenda? Probably the same person who printed it.
Yeah, always does.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we move to the
Thank you. That's all I wanted. What's the know? You got the gavel. She'll answer my question. Linda, Shia Linda. Westbrook.
All right. As I mentioned last week, maybe Mr. Olson resigned as of March 16th. I did not receive any letters, so I put a call out to our previous tax collector to see if she could cover the term, just to get the taxes done, to keep us with revenue coming in so that we can make payroll. Mrs. Kelly said she would take over the position and fill it for the term, but not run for re-election, giving us a year and a half to find someone that could run for election and fill the position. I'd like to make a motion to have Mrs. Kelly, the tax collector, to take over the responsibility to deal with the mess at M&T Bank that all the residents are presently dealing with, and to make sure that our school taxes go out smoothly and not have the same issues that we have with borough taxes that were done incorrectly and had to be revised. So I'd like to make a motion, if I may.
Motion.
To appoint Kathleen Kelly as the tax collector to fill the vacancy.
Second. I have a question. When did this conversation happen with Ms. Kelly?
I spoke with her last night after I spoke with Mr. Olson.
Madam President, do you have my phone number?
I should have called you,
In
Jason, I know.
committee, well, I brought it up in committee last week, that along with all these appointments that are on here, If I'm staring at the same agenda that the crowd's staring at, I don't know who the appointment's gonna be. I agree we have to move on the
Well,
tax.
I
collector
agree,
today.
we needed a tax
Can I
collector.
finish my thought?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. I agree that we have to appoint a tax collector, but once again, the heads up is really all I'm asking for, and I don't think it's out of line, I don't think I'm out of order. And, I'd like to know what I have to do to change it.
I should have called everyone last night, I apologize. I was doing what I thought was best for the borough because we need to fill the position. I accepted from Mr. Olson 5 huge envelopes of taxes that M&T Bank returned to us in error that have not been processed, which is why your check is not clear. I thought I was doing in the best interest of the borough. I called Mrs. Kelly and asked her.
You guys, hang on a second, just give me a second.
I asked Mrs. Kelly.
Kevin said it's unbelievable. If you hire somebody, you go out and get three references all the time. I mean, I'm just gonna go on your word. Who knows the person? Are they qualified? You don't know.
What you thinking?
She was the previous tax collector. She's able to jump in and pick up where Mr. Olson has left off with M&T Bank. We have no time to train anyone. We have no time to get the ball rolling. This was the fastest way we could do it. This was the fastest result that I could come up with. No one presented us. When we presented it at a meeting last week, no one came to us and said, I can do that. I have a business background. I can take no one. This room was filled last week and no one stepped up.
Did we advertise the position?
I have a question.
We don't have time to do that.
I have a question. With the unemployment rate, right? Not all, whatever it is, if you would have put it in the paper, in the classifieds, if you, because we're going on you like to say, I did this, I did that, but you have 6 other members of council. It's not your show here. You could have put in the paper, because a million people read the paper, Dow Times goes out every day to this paper, and you would have people flocking up here to be tax collectors. What you did, I'm on the fence about it, because she knows what she's doing. Because I do know, to answer your question. But how you did it was wrong. You didn't even bother to bring on people. Where are you going with people?
I'm bringing it to their, they asked me if I had any.
I'm out.
I'm giving
I'm still
you.
talking. I'm still talking. You had a whole week. Hold on. I'm still talking. You had a whole week. You had a whole week to find somebody to be tax collector. And you waited until Monday before the council meeting to hire someone?
Call the vote.
Roll call. Mrs. Rhodes.
You don't know what it's going to be. Yes. No. 43. Why are you wasting time?
Yes. Mr. Williams.
No.
Ms. Rafter.
No.
Mr. Sponge.
No.
What a shock. 4-3. Can we just fast forward past that part?
I'll be honest, I have to say this for the crowd. You know, I think she's going to do a fine job, and I think she's good. And once again, like every vote I have here, that I would probably vote yes for with this council. Not knowing about it bothers me. You people put me on this council just like you put everyone else. And it's actually embarrassing to sit up here and look at appointment of auditor, appointment of health inspector. You guys know these names, and I don't. And everyone to my left doesn't. It's just a simple way to conduct business that we're all on the same page. Whether I like who it's going to be or not for tax collector, I can't stop it. I can lose 4-3 every single week, every single month, and guess what? That's how politics are set up. You guys wanted it, Folcroft wanted it that way. It's a split council. I can live with that. But it's ridiculous not to know who the people are. And it's going to be that way for the next time.
I've asked for their emails, addresses several times, and they have not given it to me. You have no idea.
Everybody's email and phone number is in the packets.